Hey everybody, welcome back with the Purplatypus is the name. Welcome to another sponsored video, doing a follow-up to the Tower of Adversity. I have cleared stage 6 with a team that I considered relatively budget with following the basic mechanics of the fight. It was a pretty fun fight. I didn't love it that much on stage 5. Now at stage 6, I'm kind of enjoying it more, seeing all these strategies. But before we jump into it, I want to give a shout out to this video here by Spire U. This is the stage 6 clear using, I don't even want to say free to play. Free to play has more than this. This is budget free to play. Abyss, like guaranteed to have units, right? Abyss, Lightning, Butterfly, Recruited Assassin, I think. It might be Outlaw Assassin. I get them mixed up. Mytha and Rawia. We're not going to watch their video, but I do recommend it. I will put a link down below if you want to say a super budget build. There's actually some tech in here that I will probably be including in my next one, but I want to make sure we get ahead of it and we give credit where credit is due. This was an incredibly good clear. I even wrote on the comments somewhere here. I don't know. I said this is impressive somewhere. You could tell this video is good because someone with a big butt down here commented on it. I thought I saw. All right, you know what? Let's not go hunt for it. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over mine today. So just to show you, we're gonna be going over the plant fight. The lower zone, honestly, I just don't think is really worth going over. There's no real. I don't want to say there's no strategy. There is strategy, but I mean it was like super easy, automatic clear it the first time with kind of whatever units. It just doesn't seem to be a fight that's designed to be very hard. It seems like this is supposed to be like the easy one. The flower guy is supposed to be the hard one, and this one's kind of the one that you just do. Make sure you have enough units to clear it. It just killed a bunch of guys. They're pretty weak. They get stronger over the course. Maybe level 7 will be harder. You do have to kill 50 enemies. 50, that is a lot. But let's go ahead and take a look at my clear. Because I've learned more about the fight here. You can see here. So you look at this. This is my team. All right, I'll admit I'm using Tristan. Okay. But Coco has been out for a long time. And then everyone else is a launch character. I'm using Tristan and then 5 launch characters. Yeah, I'm using Guzman. If you look at my recent fights, you can see I'm just using Guzman all the time now. I'm a Guzman lover. People call me Mr. Guzman actually back in high school. So I think that's why me and him have a connection. So I kind of did a more detailed breakdown of the mechanics last time. This one is the same, but with more issues. So basically, if you're going to follow the rules of the road, if you want to do the mechanics the way the boss wants you to do the mechanics, you are now going to get, basically last time on floor 5, it was 3 flowers, right? You were getting 3 characters marked, and then you would go stand by 3 flowers. Everything is leveled up here. Now he's going to be marking 4 characters for 4 flowers. So it makes it harder because you need to get your characters in position. This one particularly is very annoying to get to. Even though you get a bunch of movement. So you need to make sure you have your characters standing by flowers. And so if you're going to use cheeky strats, you could do things like you stand here and have one character hit both. But it could be a little annoying to do it that way because then you have to have one other character stand by another character to take damage. Like it could be rough. So if you want to, and also you don't necessarily want to break these in advance because then next time he marks enemies, you won't have enough plants to. Because the way the AoE works is if it only hits you, it does a ton of damage. If it hits multiple things, it gets weaker. So you got to be careful with your position. And if you're following the base mechanics, this square, like for this plant, you want to stand here. Because if you stand here, you eat both of these. So one character is not going to have a plant to get hit with. You stand here, you're going to hit this one. And then next round, you're not going to have that. So it's a pretty straightforward mechanical fight, but it's really about positioning and being able to clear out the ads. What I really want to highlight here that's really good, obviously Tristan is good. Just having good AoE is good. Gloria is good because she gives you a little bit of extra movement in the early game, which can be very powerful. There are other ways because he has that 5 movement that he just basically sticks you there. You could also have, there's certain characters like Tristan that has the just teleport to square. If you have a dash attack, you could do that. You could also use the tactics to increase your movement. I believe there's a few other characters with like ways around it. It's not, you need to bring something to deal with it, but it's not really that hard to deal with. And then later in the fight, even the nameless staff like the spear gives you extra movement, right? And then later in the fight, you're not going to worry about it at all. So what I want to highlight here more than anything is that Rawia is very good. Also percent base damage Scorch, percent base damage is all good here because you have to kill a lot of these dudes, and they don't have any resistances of anything. Like, they are not a primary. Let's see if I can get here, but they are not like a primary resist archetype. Let's just let the fight kind of go as we talk about it. So they can be knocked back, they can be stunned, they can be slept. They have the medium ones have like 95% damage reduction, so it's very good to bring someone like Lash just to pierce through them. However, I'm kind of going with just killing them and then also using Rawia to knock things off. So this very first round with these 4 plants, it's actually not very good to knock things off. But once you get to the second stage, everything for the rest of the fight, right? This is within knockoff distance. This one isn't, but they're easier to kill. Knockoff distance, knockoff distance, knockoff distance. All of these are knockoff distance. This one is as well. This one is. So she's pretty good at literally everything here, besides like 1 or 2 of these things, and you could address them in a different way. And it's not great in the beginning, but I would recommend, I'm personally running Warhorn. You could also run Ragnarok. If you get a lot of these enemies, you can end up doing a good amount of damage, but you really want to spend these first few turns, like first 2 turns, doing absolutely as much damage as possible, as fast as possible, because the plants will not be enough to kill the boss. Even when the extra plants, I don't think you kill the boss by doing all the plants or the entire fight. However, maybe in round 7 you will. If they add even more plants, you might just have to kill the plants and kill the boss. With this one, you are going to have to deal damage. So we're just going to go in, and for the first few turns, we're just going to pump. Also, with Tristan, I don't really recommend using her Berserker stance. Maybe you could find a good time for it, but the fact that she gets like 3 turns or 2 or 3 turns of not being able to heal is really hard to not get targeted at some point. So unless you're going to keep Coco right by her, and position in this fight is so important, I actually don't think you should. But yeah, we're just going to go through and just keep attacking, do what we can. Guzman is actually our primary attacker here, but you can see 10,000 and 30,000, and Guzman's going to hit for what, 31,000. 21,000 on Ballista, shredding the defense. Iron Pot Stew. I love Iron Pot Stew. I use Coco all the time still. So I did teleport her away because I am using that a lot. Maybe if I bring the other skill, I won't need it. If I bring like Ragnarok, maybe I could find a way to get out of doing that instead. Maybe I could dash into a nearby plant instead of using the teleport there to save the TP. But you can see here, if you watch my other video, this is going to be pretty similar, but this clear was harder, but it didn't necessarily feel that much harder. So you can see here, you're spawning a lot of enemies. So I think I am going to do one more guide on the TOA, because that other video taught me something that I didn't do here in my clear. But basically, these guys have a mechanic. After a few turns, they will attempt to one-shot a character, and then they will disappear, and they'll come back, and they'll summon 4. So you can actually make these, you can do 16 guys. You can get 16 of these summoned, right? And every time they die, they deal 1.5%. So instead of dealing 6% damage by killing them all, you could do, what, 4 times? You could do 6, 12, 24% of the boss's life with these 4 guys. And maybe just clear these ones out, and then you could probably do it again. So it's going to become much easier to actually just kill the boss by doing this strat. The thing is, even they attempt to one-shot you, but if you have dodge, it doesn't consume your dodge, and I don't know why it doesn't consume your dodge, but it doesn't, and then they all come back and they spawn a lot. So that's going to be the tech you're not going to see here, but that is what I'm going to try to implement coming up. Also, I want to show you that Guzman is good and Ballista is good. So like when I do these types of fights, I am attempting to use more budget teams. Now I know not everyone's going to have Tristan, let alone Tristan 3-star. And not everyone's going to have Guzman, but Guzman is like a little bit of a meme in the sense that, yeah, I think he's genuinely powerful, but you could replace him with whatever is a strong single target damage dealer here, right? So you can take a look. We're just trying to clean up the flowers. This is going to be a mostly clean fight. We're just kind of following the mechanics. I didn't use that many refreshes, but I did use some. This is the attack that's scary, these medium guys, because they all attack you. They end up getting so many, like, if you take a look here at, can I click? Not yet. Let's do one more click. let me click. There we go. So if you take a look here, when they hit you, they give you these big debuffs, right? At the end of your turn, you lose 50% damage. I have 2 different stacks of green poison. They each last 3 turns. So you're taking 100% of HP equal to your magic attack, and her magic attack is pretty high. And you get what, 60% reduced healing, and you can't get rid of that skill, and it lasts for quite a while. So that could be pretty darn annoying. But I do have some healing on her, so I think only Ballista dies in this fight, so I feel bad about that. So he's doing his thing. Remember, if that attack hits any of these plants, that your whole team gets instantly killed. So you've got to make sure you get rid of those plants. And so I'm just kind of going back and just killing stuff. Guzman, 1800 doesn't sound good, I know, but oh, another thing. Fortune is very good here. The Wheel of Fortune we have right now. Because this, dealing piercing damage equals to 10% of the character's magic attack plus 100% of their physical attack. The reason this is good is this piercing damage does really good against the medium. It's like true damage against them. It's like having Lash at home. So that is a pretty powerful thing. Coco is just a great healer. I don't know if she's the best healer now that Sophia is in the game. Sophia is very strong and more offensive focused. Yeah, I think we do get to keep Gloria alive. I think I might have to teleport her just for the heal next turn, though. Because you are taking 60% less heals. But there we go. So we got 4 characters marked. So this is what's super important, actually. We need to get someone up there at that top one. And I think it's going to be Coco. See, like, you have to get really far. But they give you a lot of movement. So this isn't actually an ideal setup. Like, you could tell this was my first success. Because I haven't min-maxed this fight to be really good. But still, overall, I would say this is pretty decent. Because Tristan is very good at just killing a bunch of guys. I might Warhorn these guys to ensure that they die. Kind of hope I don't. But Guzman can come over there and just start dealing his damage, honestly. And Rawia is going to knock the fat one off. Was I right? Oh, yeah. So I just had him go to sleep. Honestly, these guys have high damage resistance, but they're not, like, insanely hard to kill. They are definitely harder to kill than most things, but not insane. So, boom, just knock it off. You could also run, like, I was thinking about using Simona, but she doesn't have the turn. There's too many turns where it's not up, even though it would be good. She could knock both of these guys off, for example, very easily. But I felt like Rawia, 1, everyone has Rawia, and 2, she's better at single target damage for those phases of the fight. Whereas Simona, I think, could be really good for pushing people off. And I was thinking about using Leonide, but Leonide's only 1 square with his passive. And Nurgle has a 4 push, which is good, but I didn't feel like it was quite good enough. So you could probably also run Mytha. Mytha has a lot of 2 knockbacks, but at that point, I was just like, I'm going to run Rawia. Rawia has a basic attack that does it, and she does a ton of single target damage. So I think he dies because he got hit a bunch here, and he's just going to get rid of the debuffs. And now we have a little bit of time where we killed all the ads, and now we're just going to try to wail into the boss again. I actually believe we don't engage with the other mechanics at this point. I think we're just going to try to Warhorn and do as much damage as possible in a second. The Sword of Convallaria, or sorry, the Flag of Convallaria is very good in this fight as well. Yeah, I definitely was out of position there. But I like having the teleport for this fight because it's so positional. It's like 80% positional in this fight. But this is really good because after he attacks, like he does this circle around him, after that, he only targets specific characters and does the AoE that's out of the way. So he'll never attack this. Nothing will almost like ever attack this. It is crazy safe. So we did use the Warhorn just to kind of help us kill it. We're going to move up here. So I did decide to engage with the flowers this time as well. I think it's the last phase. I decided to just skip. I'm hoping if they add even more of these flowers that you'll be able to get through this fight even faster, because it was pretty tight on floor 5. Although you could just straight up kill the boss without it doing any mechanics, probably with like a Gus Tristan and stuff. Oh, here we go. That's right. Get in there, Guzman. He doesn't always crit, but when he does... Alright, this is totally fine. I feel bad that I let Ballista die, but I think we're going to be able to do enough damage here. Do I even want to kill these guys? I guess I do. I must have saw that did enough damage. Alright, Rawia, what you got? You got to kill that guy? Absolutely. That is 6% life, which is 80,000, so absolutely bonkers. Guzman never dies. I think multiple times I forgot to move him, and he kept dying, but it doesn't matter. He stands back up, and even there, yeah, he dies. He just stands back up, bro. You think Guzman cares? He does come back with 80% reduced defense, though. I'm gonna get my Guzman 5-star. He was just great in this fight. Like, you could see it, but he was doing just a lot of damage. Probably not as much as Tristan, all right, I'll be honest. But, I mean, he is a release character that was considered an F tier on release. Oh, yeah, we're going for it. You see, because he'll kill us if we don't do this, but we're going to get him. I really wanted Guzman to get the kill. I really tried, but not quite. It ends up being the classic, it's the Coco slam, right? Coco comes up, bonk. So there we go. Yeah, that was my clear. Again, it's a pretty simple. You could always watch it again and kind of like slow-mo, something like that. But what I wanted to highlight mostly, it was that you don't need some super high meta team. This is an incredibly difficult fight to brute force. You can brute force it with overwhelming power if you have, you know, like a 5-star August and a 5-star of all these legends. You could probably just deal enough damage where you don't even need to worry about the mechanics, or you only have to worry about one round of mechanics. But like that other video shows you that I put in the comments or in the description, in this one, you could clear this fight with very discounted units. It's a tough fight, but it's very mechanical. It's very much puzzle-like. You just need to make sure you're in the right spot at the right time and to hit relatively low thresholds for stuff, right? Where you just need to pick the right characters that are, you know, characters that can kind of do specific things, handle specific units. And then as long as you're not getting like one shot by like these normal attacks, you're going to be fine. You know, you bring someone that could heal. I will say the healing's a little bit tough. Mytha might be one of the best healers in the game for this fight if you don't have SP Sophia, because even though Coco could heal, you can see it's a very long range fight. Your characters are very, very separated. One will be in the top, one will be at the bottom. And Mytha just kind of heals people passively, right? She's got like a bad version of the SP Sophia thing, but it's always there, always working. So that could actually be a very powerful character in this. And she's good at knocking stuff off, which again is very good in this fight, which is probably why they used Mytha in their other run. So yeah, that is the Tower of Adversity, difficulty 6. Again, I mean, if let's just quickly look at this. Basically, what I do is I send 2 units up here, 3 units down here, and every single turn I have this guy summon a tower. If you look at the fight, I don't even look at what the other skills do right now. This feels like he has 2 skills, each of them with 3 or 4 skills in them. I don't remember, but they're just fucking flavor text. They don't mean anything. So here you can see I'm not really holding back. I'm just kind of brute forcing it with whatever units I like. Pamina is insanely good in this fight. I would say she's one of the best units in the game at this fight because they just surround you and die. But I end up putting like 8, 9, 10 of these things down. I put a whole row back here, and they can probably clear the stage by themselves, honestly. Just keep putting down towers, and you'll be totally fine. But yeah, this stage, I don't think we need to make the video a half hour just for that. All right, guys, that's all for this one. I don't know, maybe I'll make another video on TOA. I think I'm going to try to min-max a very budget team instead of, like, I don't know, instead of doing the other challenge, the ranked mode that came out. I think I want to kind of min-max and do a much more budget team for difficulty 7 if we can. I still want Guzman on. It doesn't matter. Anyway, guys, that's all. Much love. Purplatypus is Purplatypus. I'll see you on the flip-flops. Bye! On the rise, watch the views go.